Hey y'all, this is my review for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion part 2. We just gonna keep moving this along. Like, this franchise needs a break. I cannot wait till it is over. I don't want to see these ladies until 2023. And I mean that. But anywho, let's get into this episode. So they open the episode continuing to talk about this party Lisa had for Fresh Wolf, and she said that her kids invited Whitney, but we knew that was a lie. Lisa said that she invited Whitney because she wanted to extend an olive branch to her. Oh yeah, I forgot. So Lisa said, I love Jen Shaw, as controversial as that is. And then that's when Jen Shaw was kind of like, you don't need to add the controversial part. So yeah, that's where we left off. Totally forgot. Jen, I'm gonna be honest, you do need a disclaimer before people meet you. I said this in one of my videos that sometimes you have friends where you need to give disclaimers for. Like, I would say when Amanda Seales was my friend, she needs a disclaimer because sometimes, like, if you don't know her, she will come off as a bitch. Now with Jen Shaw, it's like if you don't know her, then you would think this woman is unhinged or have like a psychological problem. And you also need a disclaimer that she steals from old people too. Not Lisa being caught in her lie. Like, Andy asked her point blank, why did you lie about the kids adding Whitney? She was like, I didn't say that. And then of course production contradicts that. Meredith interrupts the conversation for a bit and says, Lisa, now in Mary's luncheon, didn't I have your back with that? She actually did. Meredith has a point, and Lisa's like, yes, she did. And she's like, thank you. And she also reminds people that she's a lawyer as well. I actually forgot about that. Andy has one simple question for racist Jenny. All he's asking is, when all these women came for Lisa, how come you didn't defend her since, you know, she's your friend and you know, that's how you got on the show as Lisa's friend. Jenny will not answer the question directly. She's tongue-tied at this point. And then here we go with production with more proof. Like, you have Heather and Whitney trashing Lisa on the bus. I think Lisa wasn't there. And then you just have Jenny just listening and silent. So yeah, you didn't defend your friend Lisa. And in turn, I'm guessing Lisa don't have your back now that, you know, everyone finds out that you were racist. Jenny again just lies, and Andy's like, okay, yeah, we're moving on. Again, Lisa's being nailed to the cross for doing some manipulative shit behind the scenes, and now Andy's asking her about her private conversation with Mary after she had this whole conversation with the other ladies talking about Mary. Then she hurried up to go downstairs, then throws Whitney under the bus for talking about her church. Lisa's explanation to this is we only saw part of it, and she just asked Mary point blank because she asked her some questions about it. But the intent for you was to remove yourself out of the hot seat and then throw Whitney under the bus. She doesn't address that, of course, so then we have to move on. Lord have mercy. So now we're about to go to the whole memorial plot where Meredith was allegedly lying about that, which I really blame Whitney and Heather for this, not Lisa, surprisingly. I guess Lisa's getting the blame because she was the one that called Meredith first. And she said, oh, well, I'm sorry, I interrupted your family's memorial. Meredith didn't really confirm or deny that she was at the memorial. So that's where all this speculation began. But at the end of the day, who cares? Jen Shaw was literally arrested by the feds in front of y'all, and y'all don't want to find out anything about that? Y'all were more concerned if Meredith was at a memorial or not. And Lisa's standing firm that Meredith told her that she was interrupting her father's memorial. So Lisa is saying that Meredith told her that she was interrupting her father's memorial. So that's why she ran with, like, oh, that she was at the memorial. That's why she wasn't here. And basically, someone is lying because Meredith says, I did not tell you that. So we have a fourth wall break, and they cut for lunch, and then you have Lisa again being Lisa and trying to talk to Meredith about, you know, what she just said. And Meredith is just not having, she's like, I don't want to talk right now. And then they go their separate ways. Lisa's always trying to manipulate the situation, like whether it's her intent or not. She's very OCD. The cameras actually follow Lisa to her trailer, and she's complaining to somebody about how she was edited. I mean, when you sign up for this shit, you should expect the worst or whatever. Like, these are all your words. Whether it's the producer's intention or not to make you the villain, it don't matter at the end of the day. You gotta stand in your shit. You made your bed, lay in it. So we're still with the other ladies behind the scenes, and they're just taking a break right now, and they're talking about the reunion so far to whoever will listen to them, whether it be their husbands or their minions. This has to be agonizing to go through this for 12 hours. 12 to 14 hours probably. They're giving us the timestamps and it's like 3:20 p.m. I'm sure they all been there since like 8 or 7. So they're all back on stage and the topic of conversation next is Mary, even though Mary is not present. So then Andy asks all the ladies, who here has gotten a mean text from Mary? And everyone pretty much raises their hand, even Meredith, except for Jenny. And it's probably because Mary doesn't have her number and Mary doesn't give a shit about her. Meredith lets us know that Mary's text to her was about Jenny throwing a glass at her and nobody came to her defense. And Meredith deserved that. Like, in this moment, Mary didn't do anything wrong. She was walking away. So for Meredith not to have her back, I mean, yeah, it speaks volumes. Maybe Mary not coming to this reunion was the best thing for her because there's a lot of y'all that's on Team Mary right now. I'm on Team Anti-Racist and Anti-Prejudice, and I'm glad both of these chicks are gone. Wow, so this whole segment really is dedicated to Mary. They're asking why were y'all all afraid of Mary? Of course they deny that, so whatever. I mean, I still think that they're afraid of being called racist. The next question was regarding Heather and Mary calling her chubby and no one saying anything about it. It didn't really faze Heather, it looks like. She said Whitney stuck up for her by not going on a private jet with any of them. And now they're talking about her church being a cult, which to me, it looked like it when Jen Shaw went. Like they were all like, fanning her, like saying you were a facsimile of God. They actually went down the line to everybody who went to Mary's church. And, they don't want to call it a cult now, of course. But Jen says, well, aren't all churches a little bit of a cult? Well, you know what? I wouldn't know. I don't go to church. I remember a lot of people in the comments were like, well, the Mormon faith is just like a cult too. But you have Mary here who allegedly is taking advantage of the people in her church. And that is the main problem. Like, she's stealing and living a better life because of these people she's taking advantage of. So that's what initially the outrage was. That kind of dissipated now because of Jen's arrest as well as Jenny's racism. But again, I haven't forgotten. And now we're talking about Cameron, who is deceased as y'all know, but Lisa says Cameron has nothing to do with this conversation. Well, you brought him on the show and they have him filmed saying that he was taken advantage of by Mary. Actually, he does have a lot to do with this. And you're the cause of it, Lisa. I think she's more concerned with the fact that Cameron's family might sue her if they continue talking about him. Lisa in her fake tears again. I love Cameron and I miss him so much. Like we were friends for over 5 years. Like eyes are completely dry. And ooh, Meredith, she's a smart one. So then she asked Lisa first, is Cameron on the board of the charity that they were doing? And actually he's not. He's just a supporter. So that means there was some type of motive for Lisa to introduce Cameron to Meredith. Lisa, just admit it. Like, you can't hide your manipulation very well. Like, people saw right through that. Ooh, and Meredith again, she have her lawyer hat on now. She asks Lisa, so Lisa, did Mary give Cameron $300,000? Lisa's like, well, I might have messed the numbers up a little bit. Like, he did have an expensive house when he passed, but yeah, get your story together, heifer. So she doesn't want to say a number, but she says that he did mortgage his house to give her money. So then Meredith tells Lisa, you told me off camera that he did not give $300,000. He gave about 10% of that. Again, why is all this important if Mary ain't here? Like, this was a part of Mary's storyline or a part of somebody to get back at Mary, but she's not here. This reunion could have been 2 parts. And Meredith's point is she didn't correct it to the other ladies, she just corrected it to her, meaning that she wanted the other ladies to go run with that. So then the next question is, why was Lisa mad at Whitney for going to the horse's mouth, i.e. Cameron, about Mary, when Lisa brought in Cameron in the first place? So Lisa, she takes out her glasses, and of course she brings in the binder, and she opens up a message that Cameron left her. Like, she printed it out, and then she hands it to Andy. So then Whitney takes out her text, and hers is more believable because she's reading it off of her phone. And he's telling her a lot of shit, so I don't know, it kind of makes Lisa's receipt obsolete. Again, I don't really care. Cameron isn't here to defend himself. We're talking about 2 people who are not at the reunion. They are wasting our time. I'm about to reclaim my time and fast forward through this bullshit. Oh goodness, and now we have accusations that Cameron and Mary was having an affair. They should not be talking about this. Like, I don't care for Mary, y'all know that, but why was that even brought up? Like, Whitney and Heather know what they were doing. They just stirred the pot just now by putting that out there. Lord, they got me defending Mary. So at this point, Andy switches gears to something more light, and yeah, I might have to fast forward this. He's talking about their kids. Yep, we talking about the kids. Fast forward. So the next topic of conversation is the 3-way friendship hell between Meredith, Jen, and Lisa. Andy asked Jen why she keep telling Lisa that Meredith wasn't a good friend to her. And it seems like Lisa didn't want to admit that the fact that Mary and Meredith were all buddy-buddy now enraged her, which is probably the reason why she brought Cameron on in the first place. Lisa then just tells a bold-faced lie that Meredith and Mary's friendship did not faze her. And here go Heather. She has not let her hoof off of Lisa's neck. She is holding her accountable. Heather is on a mission to destroy Lisa. So now they're going back and forth again, and here we are with the goddamn split screen again. And Andy is noticing Meredith's lawyer tactics. Like, she keeps interrupting, asking Lisa questions that, you know, makes Meredith look like she had her back and making Lisa look like the liar that she is. So then production reminds us throughout the reunion by calling it Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and so on. I mean, look at Meredith. She came to this reunion prepared. Meredith was like, I find it incomprehensible that you think that I would get in between a fight between you and Mary. Meredith's claiming her case. Again, my fucks are out. I'm just looking at this now. I'm just like, okay. Next, Meredith is getting very emotional right now because she's mad at Lisa went to her Shabbat to talk about Jen and their riff when she was dealing with grief. So now we got Lisa versus Heather, part 806. Heather says to Meredith, because Meredith is highlighting how insensitive Lisa was when she was dealing with grief, she says that Lisa texted her after her dad died that she hopes that her dad is feeling well. Right. So then, now Lisa is on the defense yet again. And Meredith's whole point was that Lisa was not there for her when she needed her when she was grieving. Jesus, another reunion where it's everybody versus Lisa. Like, I'm tired. I'm sorry, y'all. It's annoying me. Can we talk about something else? Can we talk about Jen's arrest? Who said that? Let's talk about your arrest. Oh, Lisa Rinna from Beverly Hills. At this point, Lisa is cornered. She'll never take any accountability. I mean, is anybody surprised by that? So then Andy moves on to the hot mic moment, and he's reading what she said word for word. I'm really curious how Lisa's going to explain this, but Meredith says her point first and says that it took her an hour to even get through it. She said how hurt she was. Like, can you imagine how my kids feel? And you saying this in front of the world. And then Andy's like, was this a truth dump for you? And Lisa says that she didn't mean it. It was a blind rage of words for her. They are all coming at Lisa. They want to crucify this bitch. Whitney tells Lisa, well, you called me a pot stirrer. If the shoe fits, wear it. Meredith. So Lisa was the one who said some of this even before we started filming. And now you have everyone else tag teaming. Lisa's saying that is a lie. That is a lie. They are just all coming at her in different directions. This isn't fun. And I'm not even defending Lisa, but it's not entertaining. It's just everybody on one person. Does she deserve this? Probably, but there's other women on this couch who need to be called out for their shit too. So at this point, Lisa just apologizes to Meredith. I regret it 1,000%. I mean, you still said it. And that was a venomous rant. Personally, I don't think I can forgive a friend that said that about me. I've ended friendships for less. Lisa's trying to apologize to Meredith, but Jen is saying that she's not apologizing soft enough. You have Heather saying she don't mean it. Like, again, it's just everyone versus Lisa. Is this entertaining for y'all? It's not entertaining for me because it is just one big circle. Like part one, it was the same thing. Like, when are we going to get to Jen? I forgot she even had charges against her for stealing from old people. I will not stop saying that. Also, you have everyone coming at Lisa. I totally forgot racist Jenny was sitting right next to Lisa. She has been silent. Now, Heather, I appreciate the Scooby-Doo reference, but if you're trying to make Lisa the villain, like the main villain of the season, like you have Jen Shaw sitting right next to you. Like, Jen totally benefited off of this bullshit story about Meredith's father's memorial, the whole Mary saga, her prejudice statements, her being a cult, Lisa and her manipulation, her lies. Like, that's the thing, like Jen is benefiting from this. Lisa's tired of Heather's shit, so then she throws Heather under the bus by telling her that you were the one that's saying that Meredith wasn't there for me, so what changed? And then Heather says, well, she was just trying to mend the friendship between the two of them. Lisa versus Heather, round 1022. I'm not about to break that shit down yet again. Lisa agrees with me by saying that you guys are just want to crucify me. You want me to just split my wrist right here and say I'm sorry? I am being myself right now. No tears yet again. As they're going back and forth, Whitney offers Lisa some advice. She's like, in a moment like this, just be quiet. Be quiet and listen without just trying to talk through it as you're processing it. Be quiet. And Lisa has nothing to say to that, and we get silence for once. So Andy asks the most important question, where do we go from here? Lisa then gives the most heartfelt apology she can, and then Meredith is like, just like you said, I need to process this. So then the conversation pivots to what Meredith meant as she was leaving Lisa's party, that I'll expose everybody who was dating who, whatever she said. And Andy's asking her about that, and she's very mum on it. And Andy's telling her, well, it sounds like you're threatening to expose people. Good observation, Andy. So then Andy brings up the rumor that Meredith and Jen Shaw were dating the same guy. Now, this rumor only hurts Jen because Jen, is happily married, or so we think. Meredith does not confirm or deny. She says, I have not dated anyone but my husband for the past 2 years. What Jen does, that's none of my business. If she wants to say something, she can. He turns to Jen, and Jen is like, that's not true. She's a liar. So they just laugh off the rumors right now, and they move on to the next topic. We are almost done, y'all. We have 2 more minutes left. So now we have a fourth wall break, and again, Lisa wants to try to talk to Meredith. She knows this is all being filmed. Like, why don't you just wait till the whole thing is over? So she tries to tell Meredith how sorry she is, and also the way she reacted was because someone told her that Meredith said that she had a shitty house or shitty renovations. Again, the intention of Lisa, like she knows this is being filmed, so she wanted to put that out there. Like, we can see right through you, Lisa. We might as well just call you Windex. Shout out to Mariah Carey. But yeah, Meredith just walks away. Okay, so you hear that I made fun of your house, you ripped me and my family to shreds. So then Meredith walks off set, and that is the end of Reunion Part 2. Y'all, thank God next week that is it. Our pain and suffering will be over. You know, we still haven't talked about the whole Jen Shah arrest. I'm pretty sure they're just saving it for Part 3. I'm gonna be really pissed if they don't hold Jen as accountable as they've been holding Lisa accountable. Also, shout out to Queens of Bravo because her sentiments definitely mirror mine. She says, between Lisa's lack of accountability to Heather and Whitney's bloodthirst desire to take Lisa down, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion is starting to feel like an utter slog. I even forgot Jen was there and she's under criminal investigation. That is exactly how I feel about this reunion so far. Please let me know how y'all feel. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all, unfortunately, for Part 3. Bye.